In today's lesson, I would like us to talk about something called private conversation. I really never thought about this thing, or I never thought about how important is private conversation until when my private conversation was no longer private. When your private conversation is no longer private, it means the conversation is no longer between you and your targeted person, but there is a third part which is receiving the very same information which you are receiving. There is a third part which is seeing the reality of whatever you were talking about, because now you are talking directly to your person who you share secrets, who you share laughter, who you share jokes and everything. But there is someone who is noticing the very real thing as you notice. Because if I come to you and I tell you how my friend made me happy by the good morning message she sent to me, it is a different thing from me showing you the real message that my friend has sent to me to wish me a good morning. If I come to you with a good news that, okay, my mom prayed for me and she blessed me and she said my day will be clear, and she sent me a message, or she sent me a voice note saying all this stuff, it is different to when I really show you the message that my mom sent to me, or the voice note that my mom sent to me. Because if I show you, you are seeing the real thing. You are seeing my private conversation. But if I tell you, it means you are hearing part of my conversation. There is some private thing that I talked to my mom, I won't share with you. There is some private information that I communicated with my friend, I won't tell you. There is some private information that I communicated with some of people, but I won't tell you. I will tell you the only part that is convenient to me to tell you. But if my conversation is not private, it means this third part is going to see each and everything from my conversation. If there was a bad news, he is going or she is going to see the bad news. If there was a good news, he or she is going to see the good news. If there is a top secret, this third part is going to see this top secret also. And when I was deciding about the heading of this lesson today, it came a little bit emotional, because it comes from something that happened to me currently. It happened to me like 2 days ago. So I was stuck in between naming this lesson a private conversation or a hacker. It happened that my private conversation was hacked. But the issue here that I want us to see the importance of private conversation. In a media life or in a technology life, private conversation can be in a text message. Private conversation can be on a WhatsApp. Private conversation can be in every source of communication, or even person to person. You can meet and talk your private things. But in a spiritual life, private conversation goes deep within your spirit. And this conversation is between your brain and your spirit. When it comes to make decision, what is going on between your hearts or your spirit and your brain is conversation, and we call this conversation a private conversation, because you are the only one who is seeing what's going on. You are the only one who is put between this situation, and you have to choose one. So the main attack that comes from the devil or comes from the enemy, it comes in your private conversation. Because if the enemy will succeed to interrupt your private conversation and know what is going on within your head, or know what is going on within your spirit, this enemy is going to take advantage of your decision according to your conversation. And it is very difficult for the enemy to see your private conversation. But if it is difficult to see in your head, that's why we have something called behavior. So behavior, or your action, is something that the enemy uses to define you and to connect, to guess what is going on within your spirit and your brain. What is the secret conversation going on? Because you are going to portray it, or you're going to reveal it through your action, through your behavior, through your mood. You are going to reveal what kind of conversation is going on within you. So if the enemy won't be able to recognize what is going on through your behavior, through your mood, through your reaction, or through anything, he is going to hack your private conversation. Hacking a private conversation is for him making himself part of your conversation. And in order for him to be part of your conversation, it means he is going to require a reaction from you. And this reaction have to be in a place where you don't have time to measure what you're going to say. You don't have time to think before saying. You don't have time to defend yourself. But the only time you have is to give reaction. Let's go and read the book of Matthew, Matthew 27 verse 11 up to 13. It says, "Now Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, 'Are you the king of the Jews?' Jesus said to him, 'It is as you say.' And while he was being accused by the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then Pilate said to him, 'Do you not hear how many things they testify against you?' But he answered him not one word, so that the governor marveled they wished." As we see here, when Jesus was about to go to the cross, what the enemy needed from Jesus is to hear the private conversation which was going on within his mind, between his spirit and his mind. Because in your spirit, you can be very able to tolerate something, but your brain will react first to the point that it won't appear as tolerance. It will appear as defense mechanism, or it may appear like a act of war, or it may appear like an act of attacking back. But here what Jesus did, he knew very well that here what is being hunted is not my position, is not my faith. It is my reaction. So they can use this reaction to crucify me. In order not to give them a peace of mind for what they are going to do, I'm not going to give them the reason. I want them to find their own reason, so they can be totally accountable of what they are about to do. What he did, he stood silent. He was silent. He didn't answer any of the question. Do you think he didn't have words to say, or he didn't have anything to say, or he didn't have a power to say, okay, I'm a Jesus Christ, the Son of God? This is something I was telling these people since the day when I came in the world. I was telling them that I'm a way of truth and salvation. They never heard it. They never listened it even once. What is the point of asking me today here when you are about to crucify me? It means there is something that you want to prove. And in order to prove that, it means you have to enter into my private conversation so you can speak on my behalf. Because if you speak into my words, it will have power because I am the one who confirmed it. But if you speak on your own words, it depends on the majorities to decide if they believe you or not. But if you are standing on my words, it means I'm the one who started. So I'm giving these majorities choices to choose. But sometimes God gives you no choice in order for you to mature, in order for you to choose from a place of no influence, to influence yourself to choose what is right and what is wrong. So when Jesus stood silent, it irritated this Pilate. In the Bible, they say, then Pilate said to him, "Do you not hear what many things they testify against you?" But he answered him not one word, so that the governor marveled greatly. When they say marveled greatly, it is like he wondered greatly. But he is not wondering. He was furious because he didn't get what he wanted to get. Because he knew exactly that it was a sin to kill somebody who has no fault, somebody who did nothing but trying to save these people. And when you stand in front of law, you are standing for majority. You are not standing for what you believe. So in order for him to save what he believed, he wanted Jesus Christ to talk to these people. But Jesus Christ's mission was to save the world, and his mission was finished. He had a very big power to convince these people that I'm here to do this and this, and I can do miracles. I can even deliver you from your evil thoughts and make you believe in God. But he didn't do that. Why? Because the mission was at the end, and even single action against God's instruction, it was going to take him far away from his mission. It comes a time when an enemy attacks your private conversation. But from a panic of your private conversation being attacked, you do some stuff which gives this enemy power. You do some stuff which make this enemy feel a sense of accomplishment. Meanwhile, you could have stayed silent and let him swallow on his own stupidity. There is many things or many goals that the enemy have when he comes to attack your private conversation. Sometimes he is after your faith. Sometimes he is after your belief. And sometimes he is after your peace. Sometimes he is after each and everything that you have. But instead of you focusing to know what is it he is about or he is attacking, can't you focus to learn some lessons in this attack? Because if you focus to know what he is attacking, it means you are going to play according to his game. You are going to go according to his instructions. Sometimes after knowing what he is attacking, you will be very irritated to the point that instead of taking God glory, you are going to go against God because you know. because you know he was after your faith. So you are going to react to protect your faith, or you are going to react to show him that you have a big faith. But remember, you are praying in his game, and he is the one who planned this game long time ago. So he knows where he is going to twist you, because that is exactly what he was attacking. Sometimes it is difficult to save things which are into a death stage. All you have to do is to take lessons in order to avoid another fall. If I was stupid enough during my attack, during my private conversation being scammed or being interrupted or having a third part, which he still have it right now until now, at first my judgment was spiritual, because this attacker came to me as a priest in a priest world, like I am your priest, and we have to do prayers into a Zoom meeting. So I'm sending you this code, and you have to use this code to join this Zoom meeting so we can do prayers. I'm not so good in technology. Even my siblings, they called me old young, because they know in technology I'm totally worse. So I was like, okay, we always do this. We are going to do meetings. And I said, okay, I saw the code. What is the code? Can you tell me what is the code? And by the moment I tell this person the code which he sent to me, I was logged out of my WhatsApp. But if I was nobody, if I had nothing, why would this enemy go to these high levels of attack just to interrupt my deep conversation? It is because of my silence. Because this enemy has tried many times to know me through my action, to know me through my moods, to know me through my faith, or to know me through my words, but it have been very difficult for the enemy to know me. So he thought maybe if I go to his private conversation, I will get to know this person better. But the main point that he didn't know is my private conversation is between my spirit and God. My private conversation is between me and God. Everything that bothers me, everything that makes me happy, everything that destroys my sleep, I don't communicate to a human, because I know humans are carnal. I communicate to God through my prayers. So it was, if that was the target of the enemy, it is a wrong target. And the second thought that came to me, it is maybe this person is trying to contaminate the name of my church. But why would this person contaminate the name of the church, which have a lot more than 100 branches in the world? Why would this person use me to contaminate this church? And I was like, no, this is contamination between me and my belief in God, because I know myself, when something quarrels with my belief, or when something makes me doubt it or makes me hate it, I hate its root and its system. So the attack of the enemy, whether this attacker knew it or he didn't knew it, the devil was using this attacker in order to contaminate my belief, because I'm going to hate the church, and the church I'm going to hate, it is a strong church. So I will use this reference like, okay, if this strong church can do this kind of stuff, having the scammer and everything, so it means we don't have believers anymore. So why would I keep believing in God? So I'm going to stop believing in God just because of one action of the church. But it was not one action of the church. It was the enemy using the name of the church to attack my faith. in order to keep me or to give me distance, in order to create a distance between me and the systems I use to believe God. Because I go to church, my spirit gets elevated, because God or Jesus said, where there is one or two people praying by my name, I'll be there. Whenever I go to church, whether the preacher is good or not good, I come back, my spirit elevated. I come back with a new power to start the next day. Let's say maybe this attacker, his reason or her reason was to attack my peace, which he or she almost succeeded, because at the very first minute, in very 5 or 10 minutes of attack, I was devastated. And I was trying to tell anybody, like, okay, don't text me or don't call me in this number, don't do this, I'm being scammed. I was not in peace. I left everything I was doing at that moment, and I concentrated on solving a problem that I don't know why it exists. I don't know why it came to me. I don't really know. So I was devastated, and I called 1 or 2 of my friends. I called 1 or 2 of my family members, and they are very cooperative. I like, because they know I'm bad in technology. So if they are not going to be with me in this situation,